Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Find Your Positivity podcast. On this podcast, we state our daily affirmations and we set our focus of the day. Let's start your day on a positive note. Stay tuned to the end of the podcast for a channeled message for today. Welcome. Happy Thursday. Today, our focus is going to be nurture. As we get older, we start to realize emotions and experiences that we didn't have in our childhood. They're missing. For instance, for me, I didn't grow up with a father figure in my life. So that foundation for a polarity relationship has never been solidified. My mom and dad divorced, and her partner afterwards, I just never really felt a parental connection to. So what happens? What happens when you don't have an example of a divine feminine and divine masculine growing up? What do? You overcompensate for what's missing. The examples that I was provided in childhood were women portraying a super divine masculine role. These were single, independent, overpowering, non-emotional, super active energy women. And I don't say that as something that's light. I was taught everything by these women. We have very strong women in our family, but this is what I saw growing up. So as I'm learning and healing my past trauma and this generational trauma, the pieces, they all start to fit. The red flags of a woman in an overly divine masculine role are people pleasing, being overpowering, feeling overwhelmed all the time, overworking, this need to continually push yourself to the end. For me, I just call it trauma, but I've heard it being referred to as masculine wounding or basically just having, daddy issues. These are my opinions, so always just take what resonates. Even to this day, I can think of maybe one or two true relationships that even somewhat demonstrate a divine masculine and divine feminine relationship. I don't have anyone that I would go to and say, this is a true divine masculine example. Discovering this has all took part during my spiritual awakening. I'm at a stage where I'm nurturing those childhood wounds. I'm loving myself. I'm finding my self-worthiness, finding my confidence. I am discovering and resonating with my inner divine feminine. I am being more receptive and just allowing things to come in, being receptive to blessings and miracles and just letting things come to me. And it feels good to do that. I am at peace. If I compare myself prior to my spiritual awakening, I was in a heavily divine masculine role. I was pushing, super overworked, super overwhelmed, just wanted to people please, not loving myself, not taking care of myself, not being receptive to anything, the complete opposite of where I am now. I am so relieved. The fact that I can sit here in this feminine energy and just let things flow to me, this is ease. This is ease. I feel as I go deeper into my divine feminine energy, I'm hoping that it calls out to my person, my true divine masculine, my divine counterpart. I'm discovering that I can push and pull and move mountains for others, but I can't heal anyone. That's the biggest takeaway from the spiritual awakening, is that I'm not here to heal anyone. I'm here to heal myself. I'm not living this life for others anymore. I'm just living for me. And with that, I've found peace. If I continued down the path I was previously, would I be more successful? Yes. Would I be more wealthy? Yes. But would that have been a path of unconditional love and freedom? No. I didn't know how to love myself. Previously, I chose to live a healthy lifestyle. I was responsible. I felt like I was being a good human being. But the reason behind it was all for others and not for myself. I never learned how to truly nurture myself. I didn't see that example growing up. So I had to learn how to love myself unconditionally and see my worth. I truly lived a life for others before, but not anymore. Let's take a moment to state our affirmations to nurture ourselves. I am giving my body what it needs. I am giving myself unconditional love. I am giving myself space to grow and evolve. I am giving myself permission to heal past trauma. I am giving myself freedom to feel. I am giving myself room to feel respected. I am giving myself an opportunity to live my true, authentic purpose. I am giving myself freedom to move on and let go. Once we reach a stage in life where we acknowledge healing is needed, you owe it to yourself to pause and heal. You owe it to yourself to transform old ideas and ways of thinking to truly start living your life. Parental trauma, emotional trauma, childhood trauma, sibling trauma, no matter how big or small, it could be keeping you in a cycle, never healing, never growing. Dive into that trauma, those wounds, to fully heal. If you made it this far in the podcast, thank you. Don't forget to come back Monday through Friday for new episodes. You can also check out the YouTube at Purely Danielle or check out the Patreon. Today's message comes from The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. I'm reading from chapter 11, page 99. It reads, "One of the essential requirements for true spiritual growth and deep personal transformation is coming to peace with pain. No expansion or evolution can take place without change, and periods of change are not always comfortable. Change involves challenging what is familiar to us and daring to question our traditional needs for safety, comfort, and control. This is often perceived as a painful experience. Becoming familiar with this pain is part of your growth. Even though you may not actually like the feelings of inner disturbance, you must be able to sit quietly inside and face them if you want to see where they come from. Once you can face your disturbances, you will realize that there is a layer of pain seated deep in the core of your heart. This pain is so uncomfortable, so challenging, and so destructive to the individual self that your entire life is spent avoiding it. Your entire personality is built upon ways of being, thinking, acting, and believing that were developed to avoid this pain. That pain that is being referenced is trauma. Your mind works to protect you, to push those feelings down deep so you don't have to worry about it, so you can continue to avoid it. But the longer it sits there, it marinates. The triggers may get worse. Everything will start to snowball. You have to deal with that pain. You have to deal with that trauma. Deal with those old wounds. It's uncomfortable. And yes, it can be challenging. But to have freedom and to feel unconditional love It's worth it. You're worth it. Come back Monday through Friday for new episodes. And again, don't forget to visit the Patreon and the YouTube. Thank you.